नमामि शंकराचार्य गुरुपाद सरोरुहम् यस्य प्रसादान् मूढोऽपि सर्वज्ञोः सदा भवम् कामाक्षी करुणारूपं कामकोटि जगद्गुरुं चिन्मूर्तिं कलये चित्ते शंकराचार्यमव्ययम् भक्ताग्रगिरिसम्भूता शंकरार्णवगामिनी पुरातु भुवनं पुण्या श्रीगुरोः सरितापगा वेद वेदांत साम्राज्य धर्म कामार्थ मोक्षदं विद्यारण्यं मम पुण्यं जो विद्यारण्यमध्यनति सदाशिव श्री ब्रह्मेन्द्र धृत सुपद पादुकान् धीरान् परशुवेन्द्रार्यान् ध्यायान् सततं हृदि देवे देहे च देशे च भक्तारोग्य सुखप्रदं बुध पामर सेव्यन्तं श्री जयेन्द्रं नमाम्यहम् नमामि शंकरान्बाख्य विजयेन्द्र सरस्वतीं श्री गुरुं शिष्टमार्गानुनेतारं सन्मतिप्रदं सत्यनारायण क्षेत्रात् सत्यव्रतम् उपागतम् आश्रये कामकोटीशं सत्यश्री चंद्रशेखरं सदाशिव समारंभां शंकराचार्य मध्यमां अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरंपरा श्री शंकर भगवत्पाद आराधना उपन्यासमाला. Last year, our Shri Kanchi Kamakoti Moolamnaya Sarvajya Pithadvati Jagadguru Shri Shankara Vijayam Saraswati Shankaracharya Swami performed Abhisheka to Ramanatha Swami at Rameshwaram with his own hands and thereby completed his Tirtha Yatra. Starting from that most auspicious occasion with the prarthana of doing Anusandhana of the original Shankara Bhagavatpāda Charitra text, we have started this prayatna, and right now we are examining the Anandagiriya Shankara Vijayam, which was composed by one Anandagiri, a direct disciple of Shri Bhagavatpāda. And in this, as the 30th part, we are about to examine the 44th and the 45th prakaranas of this text. And in this 44th prakarana, we are about to examine a very unique matam, and in the next one also. In the previous prakarana, the 43rd prakarana, it was said that Bhagavatpāda from Prayagraj, he arrived at Kashi, and there he had discussions with the followers of the Karma Mata, who said that Karmanusthana itself will give fruit, all kinds of desired effects, and there is no requirement for Ishvara. And after that discussion, here the Mata called Chandra Mata is put forth. Actually, very early, immediately after Shiva Mata, Vishnu Mata, and such much more popular matas, along with the Panchayatana Devatas, the Surya Mata was already discussed much earlier. And right now here it is strange, but it is understandable to note that there were some people who were following Chandra Mata, and in the next prakarana we will see that there were exponents of the Kuja, Buddha, Guru, Shukra, Shani, and Rahu Matas also. So right now let us see this text. Tadanantram Shivabharanakyaha sa Shishyais saha samagatya swaminamidam Madiyamatam Amratamiva Sarvalokopadeyam Chandradevatyam Savadhanena Sruno. So this person by name of Shivabharana, and we know that Chandra is Shiva's Abharana, and we have also seen that the proponents of various matas, they carry the name of their Upasya Devata quite often. And so this person by name of Shivabharana, along with all his Shishyas, he comes to Bhagavatpāda and he speaks, he says, my mata is like Amrita, it is like nectar. It is Sarvalokopadeyam, it is useful for everybody. Chandra Devatyam Savadhanena Srunu. It takes Chandra as his Devata, and please listen to it carefully. Bhagavan Chandra Kila Shodasakala Paripurnaha Sarvada Sarva Prani Poshanavaraha Swa Ashtadasha Sahasra Yodana Vistirna Mandarena Brahmandan Jyotayan Vibhuhu Ekaha Advitiyaha Paraha Avratarupaha Vartate. So he eulogizes Chandra like this. He says that Chandra is full of composed of 16 kalas. So the description is such that the Purna Chandra Bimba, it has 16 kalas, 16 parts, we can say, to put a very literal translation. So much so that the word kala itself means 1/16. And each kala, one of each aspect, one portion of that Chandra kala is consumed by devatas. Some verses will be quoted presently in the Krishna Paksha. So that in the course of 15 days, from having 16 kalas, he goes to having only one kala at Amavasya. And even then, it doesn't become totally empty. And then from that one kala, in the Shukla Paksha, step by step, the kalas get restored and he becomes again full in the Shukla Paksha. So this is how he is called Shodasa Kala Paripurna. And he is the Sarva Prani Poshana Para. Of course, as per science, we know that sun gives the light that is necessary for plants and trees, etc., to grow. But as per the Veda Shastras, Soma Oshadhinam Adhipati. So Soma Chandra is considered to be the Adhipati of plants. And definitely we know that all Jiva Rashis, somehow they are dependent on plants. So through plants, Soma gives nutrition to all Jiva Rashis. And it is said that the Bimba, the Chandra Bimba, the Mandala, Chandra Mandala is of the diameter of 18,000 yojanas. And he gives Prakasha to the whole world, and he is unique in the sky, and he is of the Amrita Swarupa, and he blesses us all. So it is said in the Bhagavad Gita also, Pushtamicha Oshadhi Sarvaha Somo Bhuttara Satpakaha Iti Smritehe Sarvadeva Traptikarascha Smritehe. So this Vakya actually is Bhagavan Paramatma Shri Krishna says that he is in the form of Chandra. This Vakya doesn't actually mean that Chandra is the Paramatma. It means that Paramatma is present in the form of Chandra. But anyway, this is how they quote as per convenience to them. And it says that Bhagavan says through this Vakya that through the form of Soma, Chandra, he gives nutrition to all plants and through that to all other living beings also. So Tathahi, and the next aspect of it, Sarvadeva Triptikarascha, as mentioned earlier, Tathahi Swagatranishtha Amritam Devebhyo Dattva Tan Paripalayati. So he gives that Amrita which is present in his form to all the Devatas and he preserves them, he supports them. Tatha Prathamam Pivate Vanhihi, Dvitiyam Pivate Ravihi, Ityadehe, Soma Utpatti Prapanchana. So it is described that the first Kala is consumed by Agni, the second Kala by Surya, and so on. So it is clear that the Soma Deva, he is the one who gives nutrition for the Devatas also, not only for what lives on the earth. Ataha Purnimadi Punyakaleshu Chandropasanaya Prapta Amritapanena Muktihi. So this is how he extrapolates to say that because Chandra is the one giving nutrition to everybody, if you do Upasana of Chandra during Purnima and other Punyakalas, you will get to consume Amrita. And through that, Mukti, Moksha, Amrita means immortality. So this is the way to immortality, is what this fellow says. And to this Bhagavatpāda replies, Paramaguru Patati, Bho Shiva Bharana, Bhavanmatam Ararham, Ramana Bhava, Though Shiva Bharana, your Mata cannot be accepted because there is no proper justification for it. So, Chandropasaniya Muktirityuktam, Tatrapi Namanam. So, what is the, you say that Chandropasana will give moksha. What is the pramana for that? Where is the pramana for that? Anityopasaniya Nityamukti Praptirasthiti Nahi Samyak. See, immortality, moksha means it has to be permanent. If at all, only if it is permanent, then there is meaning in making efforts for it. Otherwise, all sorts of impermanent happiness is available in this world itself. So it is far easier to go after those forms of happiness. So if at all there is a moksha is of the form of Shashvata Ananda, then there is meaning in making efforts to attain moksha. So definitely we have to accept that moksha has to be permanent. But the question is, as per your own statement, the Chandra, he goes down in the Krishna Paksha and he goes up in the Shukla Paksha. This is obviously he is Anitya. His form keeps changing. And then how is it, do you even feel correct? Uchitamiva tava rochate, Acharya asks, do you even feel it appropriate? And do you like it to say that this Aditya Chandra, by doing his upasana, you can get Nitya Moksha? How can you say that? Moksha margopyetadvaro na vidyate. Not only direct moksha, there is this Chandropasana cannot even take you to the path of attaining moksha. Kintu, then what is the Shastra Pramana? See, you have to show Shastra Pramana for what you claim. The Shastra Pramana says, Kintu Ishtapurtadi Karmakritam Chandra Praptihi Punarmartyaloka Praptiriti. So this verse from Bhagavad Gita is presently quoted. Dhumo Ratris Tatha Krishna Shanmasa Dakshinayanam Tatra Chandrama Sanjyotihi Yogi Prapti Nivartate. So whoever performs various kinds of Punya Karyas in this world, and through that it is said that they can attain the Loka of Chandra, and from that they will again come back to this world and be born as humans. And of course, because of all their Satkarma Anusthana, they will attain very auspicious and good and happy births, but it is still part of samsara only, it is not moksha. So doing upasana of Chandra cannot directly give moksha, and there is no pramana for that. And you say that Chandra is the adhipati of Amrita, so if he gives permission, then one can attain moksha. The anugyamatrena mukti kim vartate. How come, first of all, if he is himself Amrita, then he can give you permission to go and attain, he can give you anugraha to go and attain that Amrita. He is himself not Amrita. So there are various kinds of Amrita, even though it is said that the Amritapana is done by the Devas, but the Devas also, they are Jivas. And unless and otherwise, see, if at all you want to attain moksha, you have to make special efforts for that. By doing normal punya karyas, which is common, which is necessary for the our Laukika Jivana also to be happy, how is it possible to say that because of this only we can attain that moksha without having any special effects for that? And so, Yesha Devanam Annam iti Shrutescha. So there is a Shruti Vakya which says that this Chandra is the food of the Devas. Deva Anna Rupasya Chandrasya Jnanena Nahi Mokshalesha Sambhavati. Parantu Tal Loka Prapti Sambhavati Dvayamapi Shushruma. So if at all you do upasana of Chandra, as Chandra is the ahara, he is the food, he nourishes the devas, okay, fine. But doing his upasana will take you to his loka. So it is not possible to attain moksha through the upasana of Chandra or the jnana of Chandra. So this is what we have also heard. So if at all you really want to attain moksha, Shuddha Advaita Vidyama Ashritya Tvam Kratartho Bhava. Again, as in previous Prakarana, Acharya blesses this Upasaka. If at all you want to attain moksha, you accept, you have to understand Shuddha Advaita Vidya. So, because that Advaita Vidya is the jnana of the Shashvata Brahma Vastu, and only by resorting to the Shashvata Vastu, you can attain Shashvata Phala. And that is what Acharya advises him. Ityukta Shivabharanaha Satguru Upadeshan Labdha Shuddha Advaita Vidya Shritaha Bhavat. So through this he has attained Sadguru Upadesha. He doesn't need to search any other guru. This Bhagavatpāda who shows him this auspicious path, correct path, he himself is the Sadguru. And through the anugraha of that Bhagavatpāda, this Upasaka accepted the Advaita Vidya. Anandagiri Prakaranam Chatushchatvarimsham. That says that 44th Prakarana. And in the next Prakarana, so even though the Chandramata is slightly, it is not very big, but it shows some Veda Shastra Vakyas. But the next Prakarana for each Graha, this Angaraka, Buddha and so on, some verses will be quoted in favor of all those matas. Evam etasmin mate parihrite punaranye bhaumadi grahopasakaha pratyavatishtante tekila adranaha suvidyaha kratavidyaha sharmashtaha kalmashaha kruravadanaha ityakyaha swaminannatva idamuchuhu. So again, as mentioned earlier, the upasakas of the Bhauma means Angaraka or Mars, the planet is known today. So the upasakas of each graha, they carry the names which are suitable for their upasya devata. There the upasaka of Angaraka or Kuja, Bautu, Bhauma, these are all other names for Angaraka. He is called, this upasaka is called Andrana, because in presently a verse will be quoted which shows that upasana of Angaraka can remove debt. So because of that he is called Andrana, and that upasaka carries the name. And again Buddha by the word itself it means scholar, and by his upasana can attain vidya is what is going to be said now. So he is, the upasaka is by name Suvidya. Again, likewise for Brihaspati, who is the Devaguru, his upasaka is called Krita Vidya for the same reason. And Sharmashta means one who does bestows all sorts of auspiciousness, and that Upasaka of Shukra, this guna, based on this quality of Shukra, this Upasaka carries the name Kalmasha. Kalmasha means dark, mixed, not clean to be precise, it's off white, that kind of color, not white but darkened. So that is because Shaneshwara is said to be dark complexion, and Krura Vadana, because Rahu is, his nature is to come and swallow Surya and Chandra, so he is called Krura Vadana. And again here Ketu is not mentioned. The reason we will look into after completing this prakarana. So Ityakhyaha Swaminam Natva Idamuchaho, all these Upasakas by these names, they come to Bhagavatpāda and do namaskara to him, and they speak to him. Shrunu Asmadiya Matani Paramasulabhani Tavat. So our matas are very easy. Listen. Bhaumasya Agnimurdhatvam Digilapatitvancha Shruti Siddham. So it is said that Bhauma, Angaraka, is Agnimurdha. So by the word Angaraka itself means an ember of fire. So it is described that his head is of the fiery nature, and that is why in Tamil also he is called Chevvai, the red mouthed one. And he is an adhipati of various directions. Dik ilapatitvam. Ila, it refers to the Kamadhenu, and it is possible that that is because this is not very commonly known elsewhere, but it is possible that right now he is about to quote some verses showing that by the Upasana of Angaraka one can remove outstanding debts, and that is maybe can be taken to be through the Upasana of the Kamadhenu's blessing one can attain wealth, and through that one can remove our debts. So Digilapatitvancha Shruti Siddham Agameshu cha Angaraka Prasiddhir Vartate Rina Mochana Angaraka Staveshu Kumaro Raktavarnascha Bandhimurdha Judikpatihi Bhuya Kirtihi Mahitattva Gatraha Bhumaha Sapatuma. So this Angaraka is of a young form of a red color, and Bandhimurdha, as mentioned earlier, his head is considered to be of a fiery form. Judikpatihi. So he is the lord of the skies and the various directions. Bhuya Kirtihi, he has lots of fame. And Mahitattva Gatraha, so he is also called Bhauma because it is considered that he is the son of the earth as per the Puranas, and even in modern science they say that there is lots of correlation between the earth and Mars. So the prarthana is that may that Angaraka bless us. Bhoga moksha dadat tasmat karyam saphalam adara. So it is also prayed that may he bestow upon us bhoga, that is all sorts of pleasures in this world, and moksha, liberation, and asmat karyam saphalam, may he also bless us that our tasks attain fruit. So Shrutishcha Agdir Mordha Dibhakakun. So this is very well known in the Upasana of Angaraka. This also describes how the head of Angaraka is of a fiery form. So Tasmatu Iha Amutra Phala Ipsubhihi Bhauma Upasanam Kartayamiti Praptam. So it is clear that because Angaraka removes debt, his Upasana is useful for Laukika Jivana. And Prarthana also says that Bhoga Moksha Dadatu. So you can do Prarthana to him for both for Laukika Jivana as well as if you want to attain Moksha. So based on this person advocates Bhauma Mata. Tadvat Budho Pasanamapi. Again, the next Upasaka says that Tasya Sarva Vidya Pradatta Jnana Hetutva Jnanameva Mokshatam. So he says that, you Vedantis also say that the Upanishad clearly says that Jnana Devata Kaivalyam, so only through Jnana one can attain Moksha. And Buddha, by name itself, it is known, understandable that he is capable of giving all Vidyas, and he is a cause of giving Jnana also. Ataha Mokshakaranasya Budhopasanasya Shrutyadi Mulakatva Tadeva Angikartavyam. So it is clear that through the Upasana of Buddha, one can attain Jnana, and through that one can attain Moksha. So this is Veda Pramana. Guru Upasanam Kartavyam Tasya Veda Mulakatva Deva Gurutva. And apart from Surya and Chandra, really, compared to whether one accepts that Angaraka Upasana or Buddha Upasana, it is not they are not considered as clearly stated as separate devatas, but the mantras are there and the upasanas are definitely there. But Brihaspati, he has his own very special position in the Vedas as the Deva Guru. And अतः गुरोः सर्वज्ञत्वादि गुणविशिष्टत्वाच्च गुरूपासनम् अवश्यं कर्तव्यम्. And also because this Brihaspati, he is Sarvajna and he knows everything, and because of that his upasana is definitely appropriate. Bhrugupasanam api tadvadeva tasya parushitvad anādigurutvam sarvajñatvam sarvadvijapujyatvam ca prasiddham. So Bhrigu, see, sometimes it is said that Bhrigu is the same as Shukra, sometimes it is said that Shukra is the son of Bhrigu, and here it is said that because Shukra is a Maharshi and he is one of the earliest acharyas, Anadi Gurutvam, Sarvajyatvam cha, so he is also all-knowing, and Sarvadvijapujyatvam cha, he is all especially to be worshipped by Jujas. And Tat Prasiddhir Yajukkhande Abhita Bhrunantangirasam. So there are mantras which show that there is a special position for those coming in the lineage of Bhrigu. So because of that, Bhrigu has a special position in the Vedas also. Tasya Varunapatratena Tadupatesha Balat Sarvajyasya Bhrigoho Upasanaya Jnana Siddhihi. But it is definitely very clearly stated in the Taittiriya Upanishad that Bhrigu is the son of Varuna. And he does prarthana to Varuna, Adhihi Bhagavo Brahma, and that Varuna gives this Brahmopadesha, in the sense of Upadesha of that Brahma Vastu, and so through that he became Sarvajna. So because of this, through doing his Upasana, one can attain Jnana, Tasmad Bhrugupasana Avashyakamiti Praptam. So it is clear that one should do, it is appropriate to do the Upasana of Bhrigu. Mandasya Dukkhakarattena Tudupasanaya Dukkhanivruttau Jatayam Sukha Praptireva Moksha Praptihi. Iti Tadupasanasyapi Moksha Karanattvena Grahyatvam Praptam. So this Shanishchara, he is also called Manda, and it is quite well known that, or commonly one does not perceive that Shanishchara is somebody who gives happiness. So mostly he gives the phala of our papa karmas, but definitely there are pramanas that he also gives some particular kind of saukhyas, and because of his very slow movement, he is called Shanaihi Charati Shanaischara, and that is why he is also called as Manda, and sometimes it appears as if he is almost not moving at all, stationary, so he is called Sthiravasara, his weekday is called. And actually the word Shanaishchara, through various reasons, the word got modified, and in common usage it is sometimes the word Ishvara is used in that place, but this is the actual traditional word Shanaishchara. And anyway, because he is the one who is giving the effects of papa karmas, dukkha prapti, and through his upasana one can attain dukkha nivritti, and samsara dukkha nivritti, that is moksha, isn't it? So sukha prapti reva moksha prapti, to attain that eternal bliss, that is the moksha prapti. So because of that, the upasana of Shukra also becomes, it is acceptable that it will give moksha also. So it is also acceptable. And Rahu Upasanam Kartavyam Vishnu Varavalad Ravichandra Grahana Samarthasya Patumalinaha Parama Upasanaya Grahamarga Atita Vrittehe Lakshamanatvat Tadupasanam Avashyakamiti Prapte. So the Upasana of Rahu is also entirely appropriate. And we all know the story how Rahu, at the time of the Amrita Mathana, Ksherasagara Mathana, he wanted to drink that nectar, but Surya and Chandra pointed him out. And while he was drinking the nectar, it reached up to his throat. And Mahavishnu, he immediately did the prayoga of the chakra Sudarshana and cut off his head. So his body fell down, but head part, it came to be called as Rahu. So in some Puranas, it is said that he got the vara of Brahma and he became that way. And in it is also said that he got the vara of Vishnu and he became a Graha. So, but because of that, the Surya and Chandra had pointed him out when he was about to drink the nectar, and because of that, he did not get the opportunity to drink for the nectar to reach his entire body because of that anger. he keeps going and afflicting, swallowing Surya and Chandra at various points of time, and he has the power to even swallow or make darken those two, Surya and Chandra, whose prakasha cannot be darkened by anything else. So, and further, because of the upasana or the anugraha of Mahavishnu, as mentioned earlier, he grahamarga atita vrittehe lakshamanatva. It is seen that his path is beyond, is different from the path of other grahas. Tadupasana avashyakam prapte. So he has his own special qualities. So his upasana is appropriate, and thus all these grahas are also individually recommended for upasana. Iti prapte tesham bhaumadinam swatantratvat पृथगुपासनैः धर्मार्थ कामोक्ष पुरुषार्थ सिद्धिर्भविष्यति अतः निस्सन्देहं भवन्तोऽपि मुक्तिकाङ्क्षिणः प्रपञ्चकारणानां ग्रहाणां उपासनं कुर्वन्तु. So he says that through the swatantriya, through the powers of all these grahas, one can attain dharma, kama, artha and moksha, the purusharthas. And because of this, so you also very cordially, these people advise to Bhagavatpāda, saying that if you want to attain moksha, you should do upasana of these grahas, because they are prapancha karanas. They have a control over the action, whatever happens in the world. Tena kalatita vrityashritaha mukta bhavata. So just like Bhagavatpāda, we said, Bhagavatpāda blesses these people by saying mukta bhavata, you will attain moksha. Now these fellows, they use the same word towards Bhagavatpāda, because Rahu and all these other grahas, they are kalatita. They are the ones who define time. So they are beyond time. So because of that, one can attain this kalatita vritti and go beyond time and attain moksha. Iti prapte Srimad Bhagavan Acharya Patati Yuya Madranadaya Shadundham Bhavan Mata Ninangi Kartavya. So you people please listen, Adrana and others. Your matas are not acceptable. Kutaha again Pramana Bhavat. Vedeva Pramanamiti. Why I have been showing all those Shruti Smriti Bhakyas, and you are saying Veda that there is no Pramana for this. How come is this appropriate? Tarhi Sarvasyapi Veda Molakatvam Asteva. Or if you say that, there are lots of things that are mentioned in the Veda. Is it possible to say that all those things have to have their own matas? See, there is Vanaspati, a plant or a small tree or a shrub. It is mentioned in the Veda. So can we immediately say that Vanaspati Upasana is Veda Prokta? Or Ratha, even a Ratha is spoken about by the Veda. Can we immediately say that there has to be a Ratha Mata and its Upasana has to be done? No. So what is prescribed for Upasana, that should be taken from the Veda, and that Upasana should be done. Nahi sarvasya upasanam yuktam yat chaitanyam jagadupadana karanam sadeva somyedam ityadi jagatkarana bhak prapancha vedyam tad ekameva advitiyam brahma sarvair mumukshubhir upasaniyam. So whatever has been described in the Vedas as the only single source of the creation of the entire world, that Chaitanya Vastu, that has been described as Sadeva Somya, and as that Sad Vastu, which was at the beginning of the world by the Chandogya Upanishad and other passages, that Advitiyam Brahma, that single Brahma Vastu, that is the only thing that is suitable to be Upasya by whoever wants moksha. Sarvaihi mamukshubhi upasanyam. Tadupasakanam tatpraptireva moksha. Furthermore, by the upasana of this Brahmavastu, one attains, one merges with that Brahmavastu itself, and that is called moksha. Vina vijnanam shariranam grahanam upasanena muktiriti namanyante. So when one has shown that it is important to attain jnana for the purpose of attaining moksha, all these grahas, they also have their own bodies, and they are also limited. How can you say, even a fool would not say that the upasana of these matas, these grahas, would immediately directly give moksha. Lokaram viruddha grahapidadi shanteye tattad grahopasanam kartavimiti vedamolakattena avashyakam laukika upayogikancha. So the upasana of these grahas is not wrong, but it is for the purpose of viruddha graha pedadi shantaye. So whatever grahas, graha prayukta pida, that is the difficulties which are arising, which are indicated by the various positions of the grahas, to improve or to remove the difficulties which are created by any such graha sancharas, one should do the upasana of that graha. And so for that particular purpose, with the Veda has spoken about these grahas, it is true. And obviously, again, because of that, it is very useful for our daily life. But evam vrittimatam jnanadatrutvam anuchitam. So they are also devatas, that is true. But their scope is limited. So it is not possible to assert that they will themselves give jnana. Tasmad asham parityajya shuddha advaita vidya ashrita bhavata. So because of that, you should discard this misconception and this unnecessary desire that you can attain moksha via only the upasanas of these kujadi grahas. Iti guruna upatishte shrutvaita andranadyastu natva gurupadadvayam shishya babhuvuhu tadbodhe jivan muktas tada bhavanne. So, listening to this Andrana and other upasakas, they bow to the 2 feet of the guru, and by understanding the upadesha, the tattva, which has been taught to them by the guru, they became jivan muktas. So shishyopi gurudevasi guru shishyo bhavattada manonmani manasyeva line brahma parangatah sayeva sarvasakshi syad iti veda vadantihi. So far these upasakas, they had their own shishya parivaras, so they were in the exalted sthana of a guru. But now this through the upadesha of this Bhagavatpāda, they have all become shishyas to Bhagavatpāda. And shishyopi gurudevasi. So this is the unique quality of the guru, because he gives, just like when from one lamp you light another lamp, the second lamp also gets the capability of giving light to a third lamp, and so on. So this upasana, it means that whoever, first of all, through the upadesha of a guru, as a shishya, he receives that upadesha. But later on, he himself is capable of becoming a guru and further to give upadesha to other shishyas. Like this, manonmani manasyeva line brahma parangataha. So that state, the chit shakti, which is called manomani, which is beyond the mind. So when that upasana bala, through the upasana bala, the mind attains laya, it dissolves. And through that, what happens? The person, he brahma parangataha. So he reaches that Paramatma. Sayeva sarvasakshi syaditi veda vadantihi. So that Paramatma is the one, apart from the first 2 verses, the remaining verses are somewhat of a generic Vedantic nature. And Sayeva sarvasakshi syaditi veda vadantihi. This Paramatma is the one who is the sakshi for everything that happens in this world. So, Anandagiri Prakaranam Panchatattvarimsham, thus ends the 45th Prakarana of this Anandagiriya Shankara Vijaya, in which the Bhaumadik Graha Panchaka and the Rahu Mata have been discussed. So now we would like to give a brief note on why Ketu is not mentioned here as a separate Mata along with Rahu. So in the description of the capability of Rahu itself, it was mentioned that he is capable of swallowing Surya and Chandra. So this power, that is, he is the reason for eclipses to happen. So we can see that as per Shastra, Rahu, in whatever position he is present, and in the 7th Rashi, that is, we know that there are 12 Rashis. So if we take the Rashi in which Rahu is present as the first Rashi, you add 6 to that, and that 7th Rashi will be opposite to his position. And even in that position, Rahu is capable of creating eclipses. In later period, it came to be that this opposite position of Rahu, in that position, Ketu is written. But actually, we see the original oldest text, it is very clear that even in the Navagraha Stuti, it is said Ardhakayam Mahaviryam Chandraditya Vimardhanam. So that power is residing of eclipsing Surya and Chandra resides with Rahu only, and the description of Ketu is not given that way. Why this is, we will explain. But and he is also called Pata in the Jyotisha text, and the calculations are shown that way only. So whatever position Rahu is, here he can create eclipse, and in the opposite point. So this has been described in the Puranas that as if Rahu is of the form of a snake, and if we consider that here his head is present and the tail is present on the other side. Thato bhujangagrihi mukhena puchena vasa grihnati is the word of Varahamiracharya in Brihad Samhita. So by his head he can swallow he can affect the Surya or Chandra, or he can do the same by his tail also. So this has been mentioned here. This has been replaced by the description that in the place of Rahu's head, we write nowadays, we say simply Rahu, and in the place of Rahu's tail, we say Ketu. But there is no such thing as Ketu Grasta Grahana. All Grahanas are Rahu Grasta Grahanas only. They are created by Rahu, except that the place where the eclipse is happening may be the position of Rahu, or maybe to the opposite of Rahu. This is what has been described in the original text. So even if we see the original Pramanas, it is said that the Shiras, the head part of that Swarbhanu, that Asura, became Rahu. It is not said that the body part of that Swarbhanu became Ketu. But later on, some such descriptions are seen. But in the original text, this is what is there. And what is actually Ketu as per the original text, very early text, is that what are called comets. And these comets, they are numerous comets are there, and the presence of comets, the appearance of comets, and the color and direction and so on, so many aspects of comets, they are also considered to be giving auspicious and inauspicious effects towards the world. So through that, they are also called grahas, but there is no single Ketu. There are so many Ketus, and even though in the olden days, the calculation of comets was not known, but of course, today we have calculations of comets also. We are able to predict their positions, but which comet will you take as Ketu? So there is no single comet that you can consider to be Ketu. All comets are Ketus. So because of that, you cannot assign any single position to something that is called Ketu in a Rashi chart. So, but the Rahu's tail portion, it also apparently in later texts, the various phalitas, because of the position of that Rahu's tail, various phalas are given, and because of that, that word has been substituted by the word Ketu in later Vyavahara in today's Panchangas also. That is how it is described. But actually, those Ketus, those multiple comets, innumerable comets which are there, they were called Ketus in the original text. But they are not the causes of eclipses. That is very well known. It is neither is it said in the Shastra that the comets are causing eclipses. So all eclipses, even those eclipses which are so-called Ketu-grasta eclipses in today's Panchangas or other texts, they are also caused by Rahu only. And anyway, because of this reason, Rahu is considered along with all the Kuja, the Panchagrahas, and Ketu is not mentioned here. So this is as an interesting fact, that is because of the prasanga of this text, we have spoken about this, and by the anugraha of the Guru in the further sessions, let us examine the further parts of this Shankara Vijayam. Sarvabhyapaka Chaitanya Rupena Adhyapi Tishtati Sayeva Shankaracharyo Gurur Mukti Pradassatam. Hara Hara Shankara, Jai Jai Shankara.